what you think about survival in the wild. Just go out into the jungle and eat and drink. Try a variety of interesting and rare foods. Thinking about being self-sufficient here. The reality, however, is that you will encounter all kinds of mosquitoes. You don't get a good lump on your body. Look at all the knots. You can see how bad it is just by looking at it. No wonder the natives don't want to be inside. The challenge is quite high. The show was about to be wiped out by killer bees. The scene was pretty bad. The doctors can only give them a few injections to ease the pain. The director was thinking of a new place to challenge. It's just that the players are tough. You're going to be naked for the challenge. Have no choice but to arrange a local guide to accompany, hoping to avoid touching killer bees. I mean, Taboo is just a famous mother, but she's got a lot of wilderness survival experience. It just has nothing to do with the jungle. She wants her partner to make up for that experience. No one ever leads the way in. You can imagine how extraordinary this challenge is. The show's still pretty bullish on the cauldron. The rating is already higher than most of the players. Her partner, Darth, had it easier. His job involves guns. Hunting with a gun is all about hands. Primitive wilderness survival skills are a little weak. He thinks he's in a good mood. Have the confidence to complete the challenge. I don't know what's going on with the partner. The show doesn't think he's as good with his bare hands as Tower Cauldron. Let's hope Darth proves himself in the challenge. Soon they will begin to unbind. More awkward than meeting naked. Tapu is more worried about being bitten by mosquitoes. Darth has no such worries. He thinks the show crew must be ready. Even if I do get stung by a killer bee, I can protect it in the first place. The two soon met. It's a tough terrain out here, you know. Darth doesn't have a great plan, does he? I hope our partner surprises us. It was a normal first meeting. Grab your own gear and see where you're going. According to the map given by the program team, they're heading to the big trees to find a place to camp. It's not a good idea to go through the jungle, is it? There's plenty of food everywhere. The most dangerous thing here is the mosquitoes. There is absolutely no way to resist it. You can get malaria at any time. Both began to regret coming to the challenge. There are more mosquitoes here than you'd expect. It feels like you could kill a few with any wave. The two were talking and moving on. Walking speed is not slow. Darth thinks this is a good place to hunt. I hope we can have the whole roast then. Soon they came to the tree. After a brief discussion, we decided to camp here. It's almost dark. They don't have much time. Just try to build it fast. See if we can get the fire started before dark. Most of the plants here have thorns. That's a particular problem to deal with. So far, the two are getting along well. At least there haven't been any disagreements. After some hustle and bustle, the temporary shelter was completed. There are already plenty of bites on the kettle. You can even feel the bugs moving. That's very worrying. If things keep getting worse, there's a good chance it could get someone in trouble. There's just no good way to fix it right now. At night, mosquitoes become extremely active. Taboo wanted to ignore all this and lie down to sleep, but it really itches like crazy. There is no way to sleep at all. I've been grossed out by giant cockroaches all night. Had to leave the shelter and rest outside, relying on the bats outside to repel mosquitoes. For now, I don't have to worry about getting bitten. I barely made it to dawn. The tower kettle is afraid of bugs getting under it. I can't wait to sew up the seams. Darth didn't realize there were so many mosquitoes. If there's no way to drive it away, what diseases are you going to catch sooner or later? All I can think of so far, keep the shelter off the ground. At least you don't have to worry about bugs popping up. The place to lie was soon made. Still underestimate their own weight. It's going to be hard to get a good night's sleep tonight. The kettle did not want to give up the chance to lie in bed. Always trying to perfect. I'm fine when I sleep alone. It would be hard to add Darth. He felt he couldn't waste any more time on it. We need to focus on the fire. You need to boil the water to replenish it. They were getting along just fine. I didn't expect Darth to go straight back to camp and sleep. That's what he meant. Build a fire and get back to work. Tower Cauldron, though, that is very dissatisfied with this. But the challenge must continue. It's been a long time since Darth saw his partner. Had to get up and help with the fire. It was harder than I thought. You might as well have fired a firearm if you knew this was going to happen. If you don't want to dehydrate your body. I had to risk drinking straight from the stream. Darth found the challenge half cold. Health problems can occur at any time. The kettle knew it wasn't safe. But there's no better way to stay hydrated. Just drink less to relieve the dehydration. At night, the mosquito attack begins. No matter how hard they try to drive it away. The challenge is on its fourth day. My stomach is really hungry. See if there's anything to eat around here. Thorns all over the ground can hurt like hell. Fortunately, there are fruit on this side. You don't even have to climb a tree to get it. There's plenty on and around the ground. Not much energy though, but it's nice to get the acid out of your stomach. This place is infested with bees. You have to be careful not to mess with them. This side of the cauldron is ready. Just waiting for Darth to bring back some good food. Unfortunately, there's no sign of any animals. If he had a gun, Darth dares to venture deep into the jungle. Now I have to go back and eat some fruit. Everyone's mood is getting lower and lower. Taboo felt very uncomfortable in his back. Darth looked for help. It's worse than I thought. There were gnawing marks everywhere. It's a clear sign of an allergy. Going on like this is not an option. We still have to light the fire, and began to get busy with the fire again. The conditions here are not particularly humid. In theory, it shouldn't be this hard to light. I managed to get some ash out of it. Now put it in the tinder and blow it slowly. Darth tried it, and it didn't go very well. Still need the tower cauldron to light the fire. It's been a long time since we got here. Hopefully it will drive away the mosquitoes. We need to gather more firewood and stock up. The challenge continues on the 7th day. Darth plans to go further afield in search of food. It's better to lay more traps. It would be nice to have meat every day. If nothing else, there will be an accident. Thank God Darth's skin is thick and he's fine. I wonder if I'll be so lucky next time. This looks like an animal trail. There should be an animal coming down this way. Darth immediately began laying traps. As soon as it touches it, it goes straight up. I am quite confident about this. Although there is a fire on this side of the shelter. But it really doesn't work at night. Instead, it attracts more mosquitoes. The challenge came on the 8th day. Darth started looking for food again. Let's see how the traps are. Yes, but he sat down on a stone to rest. Tower Cauldron would be furious if he saw this. Darth knew it was wrong, but the body just can't control it. Whatever's going on with Darth. Tapu is also struggling to find food. Made a simple shrimp basket. I hope I catch something to eat. I came back to find Darth asleep. It is very speechless. There are a lot of things to do. I'm also very tired and want to rest. But he's stuck with it. It's really upsetting that he's lying down like this. Taboo didn't think it was a physical problem. It's Darth himself who won't make the effort. Day 10 of the challenge. No longer the same smiling face as when I arrived. Tarkettle tried to comfort Darth and guide him to work. But the effect is not very good. There is no choice but to go and find food. See if you can catch some shrimp for dinner. If Darth keeps being so negative, I don't want to play with him anymore. Let Tower Kettle did not think of his. The flames were out when he returned. The mentality is completely broken. Darth slept there every day. They don't even look out for the fire now. It's a rough place to be. I have a teammate like that. I don't know what to say. The cauldron just can't stand it. We have to talk to Darth. If he continues to do so, the team didn't hold up at all. Darth knew it was his fault, but the body just can't control it. Tower Kettle feel their pressure is particularly big. If it doesn't change things, she'll have to give up the challenge and go home. I'm not here to take care of people. Darth thought he was just too tired. I didn't do it on purpose. We'll try to change themselves. Let's hope the cauldron gives him a little more time. When my body recovers, promise to stay committed to the challenge. Tower Cauldron don't know what to say. Let's see what Darth does next. This fire is going to go a lot smoother. Just don't want to see the flame go out. The challenge continued on day 14. There's a lot of food around, but they just couldn't get any meat to eat. The body is getting weaker and weaker. Just when Tahoe thought it was another Air Force day. I didn't expect shrimp. It's not easy. It took you a long time to get food. So much meat for two. It's kind of pathetic to think about it. It's not a lot of energy though, but from a spiritual perspective. The two men are feeling a little more confident about the challenge ahead. There's just nothing we can do about the mosquitoes at night. He was bitten all red. Darth is biting the cauldron for some reason. You're not going to comfort people. Let's hope she holds on. I barely made it to dawn. This side of the cauldron is all chewed up. The mood is too much to hold. The itch made her want to cut the meat off. This is not an environment for people. What's the problem if we keep going like this? Darth suggested calling a doctor, but Tupu wants to keep going. It's just soot to relieve the itching. I don't know why they all bite the tower cauldron. Darth has more blood on his side. Going on like this is not an option. The challenge is on its 16th day. Darth didn't give up the hunt. Just change the meat into termites. I just happened to find a large termite nest. You get it when you knock down the tree. He called it jungle oatmeal. More protein than beef. After some fiddling, this is their lunch. Heat directly in the pan. The soup came out. It's a little better than I expected. It's like pine shavings. Whatever it takes to keep my stomach full. It's just that the heat is almost too hot. See what else we can eat around here. Things are much better here in the cauldron. At least the body doesn't itch that much. Just lack of food supplement. My stomach's been rumbling there. I feel like I could eat any cow right now. The challenge is on its 19th day. The trap hasn't worked yet. The day for evacuation is approaching. With their current bodies, can we really get out of this place? Were you thinking about starving? Suddenly you notice something moving through the grass. Grab the machete and check it out immediately. There's a snake up there in the nick of time. Seriously suspect it was released by the show. Oh man, it's a straight cut, big enough to feed two people. Now the mood is so good. How long has it been since I've had meat? Take the time to get rid of the snake. You don't need anything to sprinkle on it. It's good enough to set it on fire. You can feel the smell across the screen. Just take a big bite. The familiar chicken flavor. This is the best roast they've ever had. If I could eat this every day, it's not that hard to stay another 21 days. Today's job is to finish the snake meat. Before you know it, the last day has come. Tower Cauldron felt it was the most exciting. I can't wait to get to the extraction point. I just didn't realize Darth got stung by a bee. Dude, the effect of the show is instant filling. Fortunately, the problem is not too big. The extraction point is 9 kilometers overseas. Just listening to it can be exhausting. Plus, there's a lot of thorns on the way. You could puncture your foot with every step you take. The walking speed is very slow. There's no way but to get to the river. At least the depth here is acceptable, just in case there's a crocodile swimming in. The whole journey was smooth. It's just my body feels a little tired. The evacuation point is just ahead, out to sea. Now is not the time to be happy. The two men hurried over at once. The cruise boat has been waiting for a long time. It's not easy. If we hadn't gotten the snake truck yesterday, whether or not you can meet the challenge today is in question. People are very emotional about this challenge. If you can come back for another challenge, I hope it's somewhere better. I wonder who else will be taking part in the challenge. Let's wait and see.